Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hatch 2. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make this really cute mug rug step by step using a free design that you can get in the OML Embroidery University Facebook group. So, my name is Sue and I am from OML Embroidery, and let's get started. If you haven't picked up the free design, join the group, and it's in the file section in a zip folder so you can have any machine file that you need. So let's start off. I'm in the library of Hatch 2 and I found what I wanted. You can see this is another free design from another class that we worked on, and I'm just going to double click on this, and okay, Hatch is going to tell me that it's not a grade A or B EMB file. And it tells you, and I appreciate this, resizing this design more than 10% larger or smaller may produce poor quality embroidery. True story. And we are not going to resize it at all, so we don't need to worry about it. So what this is telling me, that this is a stitch file, not an EMB file. Here's the EMB up here. So we know that. Thank you, Hatch. That's great. Let's bring it in anyway. So I just double clicked on it, said okay to that. Now we've got it in, we don't actually need a hoop, but we can set it up. Right click, Brother Entrepreneur, yeah, we can do that. So we need a 5x7 hoop, and I think it's this one. That's good enough. Yep, that's the 5x7 hoop. So if you look over here to the right, you can see all of our pieces. Now when Don created this design, I asked him to put this last, just to make it a little bit easier to delete it, because I don't want it for this. So let's delete it. That's all you have to do in Hatch. You don't have to mess around with it. It is all in your sequence, which I really like. Now, the rest of it, we're not going to resize. We're not going to do anything, but I would like to group it so we don't mess up all these pieces. And if you see, all the squares turn green. Now, I have a traveling hoop, I call it. If that happens to you, right click on the hoop and switch it to manual. Now I can move it anywhere I want. But let's undo that because it was actually in the center and I'd like it to be in the center. So let's undo it. Right there, undo, undo. So now we're in the center. So let's get started. So let's go to the digitize, and we're starting on the actual mug rug. And for this one, why don't we do a circle? We can do the same thing, but in a circle. So let's pull it out, and it's got to fit in there. So left click, drag, hit enter, hit enter. Now it's filled, but that's okay because we're going to be working with it. Click on outline and let's bring it down, and we want it just a little bit smaller than that. That is too close to the 5x7. We just want it a little bit smaller than that. And we can match up our lines with the hoop lines to make sure we have it perfectly centered. That looks fantastic. The only thing we have to do here, so I'm going to switch to colors. There we go. Objects, colors. I'm going to switch to colors so I can left click and drag this one up. And I made a mistake there. Let's go back to undo. What I did is I dropped it in the matching green color and kind of messed it up. So let's pick something outrageous so then I won't do that again. Now you can drag it. If you go up like this, it drags. And we're going to put this one first because we want this to stitch out as our placement stitch. So we're going to hoop our 5x7 hoop with tearaway. And the first thing it's going to do is stitch out our placement line. That's exactly what we want. Now, the next thing we want to do here is we want to copy and paste. So select it, and we're going to copy, and then we're going to paste. And the next thing, we're going to change the color. So it is going to do a placement, and then this one, the next one, you put down the batting and your fabric, plunk it on there, fussy cut it if you need to, and then this is going to stitch down and hold everything down. Now what we want to do is we want to put this one in the second spot. So let's scroll it up there, let it go. Different color. It has to be a different color because we do want our machine to stop. Now I'm going to put a backtrack on it. So basically it goes over it twice. And now what we're going to do is we're going to paste again, and we're going to make this one a little bit smaller, and we are going to bring it to the center again. So just match up your lines. There we go. And there we go. Perfect. Now you can leave it just like that. I think that looks fantastic. But we can play around with different stitches on it. So the triple run is like a bean stitch, and we can do that. How about the stem stitch? That would be okay too. I'm not cool on the color, so I'm going to pick one of the colors from the design because I think that looks good. Back stitch is okay. I'd like something just a little bit different. Let's go. That one is too big, but let's have a look here. Let's see if we can find something that looks actually good. Okay, so we want something a little bit smaller. We want something that maybe goes along with what our mug rug is. Even this would look good. Okay. Well, that was easy. That didn't take long now, did it? So I'm going to choose that one. I think that looks amazing. Now you could move this because we have it all grouped. You could move it up and put a name across in a different font if you wanted. But I think we should just leave it like this. Now we're almost done, but we're not completely done. Now we do want, this can stitch out last if you want, but I am going to move it up with the pumpkin so we don't have as many color changes. And that's one of the reasons why I chose that. Now you won't be able to, the pumpkin stitches out last, so you are going to have a jump stitch or a trim, and there's no real place to hide it because the pumpkin is pretty much the last thing. And then it's going to go back and stitch everything else, so you can't really do anything about it. Plus we're adding to it, so what are we going to do? So okay, so then it's going to stitch everything out. And then all we have to do is take two pieces of fabric and fold them in half and lay them down this way so they're overlapping like a pillowcase is, like a sham pillowcase, how you put the pillow in. That's what we're doing. So take it, fold it in half, put in the middle, or it has to be overlapped, the folded ends on this side, and then we're going to go ahead and stitch them down. So we are going to do another paste, but this one we want to make a tiny bit smaller. So size -10, let's see if that works. That is way too much, so I'm going to undo that. I was kind of thinking maybe it would work. And let's click on it again so you get the black squares. And what we want to do is just a little bit smaller because we don't want, when we turn it, we don't want the stitches, the green ones on here, to show through. And line it up again properly. Let's see if I can do it. I sure can. There we go. Perfect. That is just about right. So just a little bit of space. And this is, again, going to hold everything together. And so you have the back on it. And once you stitch everything down, you take it off and you trim it, and then you simply turn it. Now this one, I would like to do a backtrack or repeat again, and just because we want it stitched down really well. And it doesn't matter what color you use for this part, it's not going to show. You just need to make sure it's not this color, the last thing stitching, because we want a color stop in there. And that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. It's really fun to stitch. Now remember, I didn't change the size of my stitch file, so I already know that it's going to stitch out absolutely beautifully, and I just added my own touches to it. Again, you can add a name, you can do different things to it, but that's how you make your own mug rug here inside Hatch Embroidery 2, or 2.0 as I like to say. Hatch 2.0 bigger, better, stronger, improved. I love it. So super easy to do. Remember to pick up your free design in the OML Embroidery University Facebook group. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to let me know that you want more videos just like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!